It depends. Oh my goodness, it depends, of course. So, well, let's start at the top level. So here's what I'm going to do with this, because what I try and do on these Monday Q&As is I attempt to answer questions so that people at all different levels of sophistication within their Amazon journey can get something from it. Okay, so let's start with a very broad, what advertising should I do for my Amazon product? And then let's go deeper and deeper into it until your brain starts hurting, okay? So let's start broadly. Advertising 101, let's start there. Advertising 101 states that you should put an advertisement for your product in front of people who are ready to buy your product. And that makes sense when you think about it. And everything outside of that is going to be wasted. So an example of that, I can give you an example of that from this weekend. So this weekend, the area where we stayed in was just outside of the Vatican. It was just outside the Vatican City. Lots and lots of religious people there. Natasha thought it would be friggin' hilarious to put me in the middle of the Vatican, knowing how I feel about that sort of thing. Anyway, turns out that lots and lots of Americans, tourists, are frequenting this area specifically. So, what restaurant do you think was prominent around the area of the Vatican based on what I've just told you? Based on what I've just told you, what restaurant is prominent around the area of the Vatican? That's right, Macca's. So there were heaps of Macca's around that area, and that is advertising 101. You put your marketing message in front of people who are ready to buy, or in this situation, in front of people who are ready to eat. They didn't want to go, I don't know if this is true or not, they didn't want to go and sample beautiful Italian food. They were much more comfortable going to McDonald's, all right? So, whatever you think about that, who gives a shit? Doesn't really matter. But that is clearly what McDonald's have thought. And based on the number of people in their restaurants, it turns out that's true. So, cultural things aside, that's advertising 101 in action, okay? So, let's go another layer of that. So, to understand that from that particular example, what McDonald's has done is they understood that their customers, when faced with a plethora of different potential options, would generally speaking, their customer this is, would generally speaking fall back to things that they knew and felt safe and comfortable with, which is the same for all customers, by the way. So when faced with lots and lots of different restaurants that they'd never seen before, they didn't know the quality of them, they simply fell back to the default, which was often Macca's, all right? Now, it's the same with your customers. The more you can understand your customers, the greater advantage on Amazon you get, because where should you advertise your products on Amazon? Where should you advertise your products? Well, you should put them in front of where your customers are. Where are your customers? Well, that information is derived from understanding who they are and what they do online okay? So it comes from that. That's true for all businesses. So let's go a little bit deeper. So that's another layer of that. Let's go a little bit deeper now. Think about it, another layer. So where are your customers? Well, we can say with certainty, if you've done your research, excuse me, then you would know that your customers are on Amazon, and they're on Amazon with their wallets or their purses out ready to buy. So this is good. This is great. This is why Amazon rocks. 450 million people waving their credit cards in the air, wanting to buy stuff on Amazon. So Amazon SEO, therefore, is a very, very smart thing to do because it will put your product in front of your customers who are ready to buy. So stage one in our little journey into the world of advertising is Amazon SEO. And I've covered all of that in great detail in the training course, and also in the, if you want to go more deeply into it, into my advanced Amazon SEO course, okay? So that's one level of that. However, here's what sucks about that. Here's what sucks about that. Amazon SEO takes some time to yield results from. It takes some time to yield results. You don't get overnight results, and if there are a lot of people competing for that search term, competing for that search term, Candy Floss Maker, by the way, notice there are only 122 results for that. Interesting niche idea, don't you think? Then, the more people competing for that search term, the harder it is to SEO and to rank that search term, your product, for that search term on page 1, position 1, like this one is here. That's page 1, position 1. So that's SEO. It depends if you should undertake that, and it depends on the amount of competition there is, how quickly you need a result, blah, 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 blah. So what's next? Well, level 2 would be paid ads. The great thing about paid ads is it allows you to fast track your results. So here's a paid ad. There it is. That's a paid advertisement. We can see it's paid because it says sponsored at the top. And what they have done is, just by running Amazon PPC, they have catapulted themselves to the top of the search engine results page. So now when I search for Candy Floss Maker, here they are. Here's the Candy Floss Maker. They haven't had to do SEO. They fast-tracked that. Now, the fast-tracking obviously is going to cost them some money, but it only costs money, PPC, pay per click. When I click, they pay. So if I don't click, they don't pay. So it only costs money when I click. So that's kind of cool. I do PPC, like this is a PPC campaign, blah, 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 blah. $25 invested, $239 in sales. That's pretty cool. That's 10% advertising cost of sale, ACOS, advertising cost of sale. And of course, depending on what your margins are, that's either shithouse or it's friggin' amazing, depending on what your margins are. I've got no idea. So there's that level of that too. There's that level of that too. But let's go a little bit deeper. What if you're targeting a very, very competitive niche on Amazon, and you can make a lot of money in that niche? Therefore, not only is it difficult to SEO that product to get it to rank on page 1, position 1, but it's also costly to run pay-per-click ads because there's so many other people running PPC ads. What should you do in that situation? Well, in that situation, you should do other traffic sources. Like this is Facebook, for instance. We're running for some Facebook campaigns. So you should go and run some Facebook advertising, or some Google advertising, or some Instagram advertising, or some YouTube advertising, or some Bing advertising. Which one of those should you choose? Depends. It comes back to advertising 101, which is you should put your marketing message in front of people who are ready to buy. And the only way you get to figure out if they're ready to buy or not is by understanding who the hell they are. Because let me tell you, if you put the tables were turned in our little Italian example, and instead of being in Italy, it was in America, at the I don't know, the Grand Canyon or something like that, where a lot of Italian tourists are going. If you put a McDonald's there, no Italian's going to be going to that place. No Italian will be going to that restaurant, all right? So you've got to understand who your market is. You understand who your market is. And by doing that, you can then work out who the hell and where the hell you should be running your advertisements. But it all comes from the customer. It all comes from your prospect, from who you're trying to sell to. All comes from that. If they are found on Instagram, then you should be on Instagram. If they are watching YouTube videos, then you should be on YouTube. If they're watching TikTok videos, then you should be on TikTok. Bloody, 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 blah. It bloody depends. So for me, I have come to think of Amazon as a very, very good distribution channel for my products. And that's how I think of it now, because Amazon will host my product for me. They will keep my product in the warehouse for me. They will deliver my product for me. They handle shitloads of the customer service for me. They do all of that. Plus, they do some marketing for me. Plus, I can do some SEO and PPC. But then I can also do other marketing as well. So it's kind of like having a really great website where the website will also make sales for you and do, part of the customer service function as well. That's how I've come to think about this now. And I've come to think about it much more as a somewhat holistic kind of integrated approach to building a business online. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.